Sorry, I just came from yelling at my wife.
Hey, dude. What happened to our show? What? Oh,
Wolf Child's here. Hey, Wolf Child.
holy crap. You're back.
Life got very
We're
busy.
back.
Thanks,
Life
God.
did get very busy. You know what? We're going to talk about it today on Under the Helmet. Welcome back, everybody.
Absolutely.
So, starting things off, welcome back. Thank you guys for being here. We highly appreciate it. So you may be wondering, as we've taken like a month off. We've been gone a while.
We're gonna say a prayer to the Wi-Fi gods that it actually works tonight, because it has been.
So Dylan's glitching pretty hard. The Wi-Fi gods are not with us at state where Dylan resides. So just running through things. So some
Wi-Fi
stuff.
gods.
Long story short, some stuff has happened. We've been gone a while.
The Wi-Fi gods
biggest
have forsaken me.
Oh, wait, hold up. We can hear you again. That's good. So yes, welcome back, everybody, to Under the Helmet, the most disorganized podcast on the internet. We are very happy to have you all.
Go beat my fucking router.
Oh. Anyway, obviously we are not monetized.
Why the fuck do I spend so much money on you? You don't fucking work, bitch. I just came back from beating my Wi-Fi router. This is gonna be a good episode.
Dylan, we got all of that on camera. We were rolling for that. Anyway.
Good. Watch me abuse a computer. Guarantee you it'll work.
So, just running through some things.
Hello there, all you bucketheads, and welcome all you foundlings to another episode of the most disorganized podcast on the internet. If you like what you see here today, don't forget to like, comment, share, and of course, subscribe to Under the Helmet Podcast. Maybe my Wi-Fi will be better next time. I don't know. I just beat the shit out of the router with a belt.
Yeah.
I wouldn't beat a child, but I beat the fuck out of a Wi-Fi router. They had it coming.
Anyway, so if you haven't noticed, we've been gone for a very long time. And by that I mean, like, I don't know, maybe we're coming up on a month.
Detroit racist.
We do in fact have
racist. I just hate these fucking clankers out here.
So yes.
Hold up.
Long story short.
Where's my helmet at?
Long story short, we've been gone. It has been a long time since we've streamed. And I mean, there's a couple things that go into that. Part of it is Dylan and I have both been very busy in just our own personal lives. And also all the stuff that we like to talk about with the current strikes going on, we just are gonna be holding off. So we're not intending to make any episodes covering struck content. So that means when Ahsoka comes out, no Ahsoka. I know Echo and Loki are coming out soon. No, those until the studios do manage to cut SAG-AFTRA and the WGA a fair deal. We're not going to be covering any of it. And you know, I've heard different things online that yes, you can cover struck content so long as it's not for money. No, you shouldn't be covering Struck content at all. And yes, you can cover it all. Long story short, we don't want to get into it, so we're just not. That's it. So
Also, simply the best way to be a ally and to stand in solidarity with the people who are protesting for their lives and livelihood, it makes sense for us to just say, you know what? While we can enjoy these things privately, we're not going to publicly talk about them because that would be generating buzz and generating hype for them, which SAG-AFTRA has politely asked that we not do. And I think that's perfectly fair. I think that there's nothing wrong with taking a step back. Strikes are supposed to be disruptive, and it is to show the studios how much these writers and actors are worth in ways that cannot be quantified, that don't show up on a fucking Excel spreadsheet where the funny red line goes burr up. So if that means we have to stop talking about the things that we love publicly, that's okay. I'm willing to do that to where an actor gets paid a fair wage, to the point where actors can have health insurance. So basically, like, we can talk, like, so if we go on the Discord and we have like a fan conversation in the Discord, that's one thing. But we're not going to be like actively producing content about Ahsoka is a good example. Like, we're not going to be actively producing content about Ahsoka. Wow.
We'll probably do a series once the strikes are done. But like, given that currently the studios have not put an end in sight for the strikes, as they refuse to cut the guilds a fair deal. And until they do, we're not making videos on their stuff. Now, stuff like books.
They refuse to cooperate with each other, let alone the actors.
Right.
Books,
now stuff like
all A-okay.
Yeah, comic books, graphic novels, video games. I essentially just named comic books twice, but whatever, sue me. That's really expensive, and lawyers are not cheap. But long story short, if it's not a movie, if it's not a TV show, I mean, heck, even like
it's fair game.
Yeah. Well, there are certain exceptions that take studios like A24. If you haven't heard about what's going on with A24, A24 is getting waivers essentially from SAG and the WGA to keep going because of a deal that they have already cut. Basically, what A24 has done, and for those of us who don't know, A24 is a bit of a smaller studio, but what they've done is they've said whatever deal you reach with the major studios, after, like, later down the line, we preemptively agree to. So if they agree that writers get to make $1 billion per script, A24 has preemptively agreed to that. And that's the reason why their films and TV shows and whatnot are able to continue production. They've preemptively agreed to the end deal, which is so funny to think about, because studios like Disney, studios like Universal cannot manage to cut these actors a break, cannot manage to cut their writers a break, but a studio like A24 can. And that shows that this is not about not having the funds, which the corporations are going to claim all day. But in reality, this is about greed. This is about Bob Iger wanting to take his, third yacht vacation with his buddies in a month.
Truly, this issue really does come down to corporate greed. And it's, as somebody who is a Star Wars fan, seeing the greed of these corporations and what they do and the lengths they're willing to go to keep these record profits every year. The fact that the employees don't see that and the people that make the company successful don't see that is alarming to me. And I'll fully put it out there. I am very, very left wing, very progressive, and I think that when it comes to the slice of the pie, the people, the workers in general, are getting screwed.
Yeah.
Because every year you have companies making record profits, and the pandemic really opened this to where these companies are making record profits. You know, the lower and middle class lost what, $9 billion over the course of the pandemic, and how much has corporate profits gone up? 9.7 billion. That's interesting to me. That's very very curious. And then you also have companies like Disney Plus and Hulu saying, "Oh, we're going to raise our subscription price, and we're going to crack down on password sharing because we want more people to buy our service." So I find that pretty interesting, because if you're not going to pay your fucking writers and actors, and you just want to pad the pockets of your CEOs, I don't support that. I don't believe in that. I think that's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we are living in a very of very much corporate power and corporate greed. I don't know if you guys can see my face or not, but as somebody who studies history and looked at the politics of the Gilded Age very closely, I'm seeing a lot of similarities to now and the Gilded Age of U.S. politics. There's a lot of corruption, a lot of, unchecked corporate moneyed interests that have just exploded and, for lack of a better phrasing, bent over and butt fucked the middle and lower classes of the country. And this is a worldwide issue. This is not just a U.S. issue, but because we're located in the U.S., we're going to talk about things from a U.S. perspective. I know we have a lot of international viewers. We are fighting tooth and nail with this Wi-Fi tonight. There's no way my Wi-Fi should be this dog shit with the money I pay per month. But again, a perfect example. That bill gets paid every month, but my quality does not improve. But because of the virtual monopoly home telecom has in my area, I can't go to another provider. Now, free market capitalists would be like, "Oh, we'll just go to another provider." I don't have that option. So they have a virtual monopoly. That's interesting to me. That's very very curious that even though it's not a technical monopoly, they are monopolizing a market. Seems a bit unethical to me, but what do I know? Anyways, back to the strikes. I think, and this is all my personal opinion, I fully stand in solidarity with the writers and the actors, and I think that the success of these strikes is going to have a ripple effect on the society of the U.S. as a whole. Because we used to be a very pro-union country that has very much declined since Ronald Reagan. But I would like to see that change. I would like to see the U.S. start to change its tune on a lot of these issues. And I think that it is something incredibly interesting. And I think if these strikes go well, and it shows the power of a strike and the power of unions and the power of solidarity, I think this could genuinely change things for the better. I like to see myself as an optimist, and I think that we have an option to do great things with the success of these strikes. So I'm in full support of it. I'm in full solidarity. That's what I have to say.
And as we all should be. So another thing that I wanted to bring up, some more.
Because here's the thing. Mhm. Go ahead.
Some more good news. So we know that SAG-AFTRA and the WGA are currently on strike. That's, if you don't know that's happening, you should probably hop out from under the rock that you have been living on, because that's everywhere at this point. I mean, that's Hollywood has come to a standstill. In addition to that, Marvel's VFX workers are unionizing as we speak. They are forming a union. To my knowledge, they are going to be the first VFX workers to unionize because of the way that VFX works in the industry. It was incredibly hard to unionize because people would just actively just take your job if you attempted to. But they're going for it. And I really hope that it inspires more people to do it. I hope it does.
I agree. I think the VFX industry, upon its conception, was full of these hyper capitalist, libertarian tech bros, and now that they're kind of seeing that, you know, they're getting to change that.
Mm-hmm.
How much of that did you guys actually catch?
Enough. We got enough.
Oh, fuck. Man. Okay. Yeah, so I think because of that, I think that's a wonderful thing, and I think it's a great thing. And again, I am personally pro-union. I am pro-unionizing your workplace because here's the thing. And I just want to say something. So if you think calling somebody a scab is like a terrible thing, or being like, oh, you're a scab, that is light work compared to the unions of the past. They used to burn people who crossed the picket lines' houses down, okay? Who used to get fucking jumped for crossing the picket lines. So getting called a mean phrase on social media, that ain't shit compared to what they used to do. So if you want to cry about getting called a scab when you cross the pickup line, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, boy. Get to it. Cry harder. Cope and seed. Speaking of scabs, I want to talk about one of the saddest things I saw. Stephen Amell truly failing this city and saying that he thought strikes were reductive. I saw photos today of him on the picket line with SAG-AFTRA, and listen, he said some stupid shit. Let's keep it above. He just said some stupid ass shit. He was like on the picket lines with the actors today.
Okay.
So I truly wonder what that phone call sounded like, where his PR team was like, boy, you better get the fuck out there, boy. His PR team was screaming, crying, throwing up, pissing, and shitting their pants. Like, bro, you better get out on that picket line. We are in trouble.
Yeah. If y'all don't know what exactly he said, like Steven, in full,
you failed.
Go look it up. He did. I don't know. I ain't gonna get into that.
It's no secret.
Yeah. So
I love the idea of people. Friendly reminder: it's not cancel culture. It's accountability for your actions. If you want to say some dumb shit, expect consequences for your actions. If you don't like that, you don't live in society. You don't live in the real world. You live in fantasy land.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. There is 100% freedom of speech in this country. Look at half the shit that is said out there. Mm-hmm. That being said, you are not free from accountability for the shit that you say.
Walking around saying women shouldn't vote. Freedom of speech does not equal freedom of consequences, dumbass. Let's get off our ass and grab our signs and let's fly to LA to join the strikers. I would, but plane tickets are expensive and your boy is broke.
That being said, Callahan, it is good to see you.
We will support in the ways that we can.
Mm-hmm.
Callahan, what's up, dude? Always good to see you.
I want to bring up something really funny.
But
I can't show the video as it's on my phone, but so David Zaslav, who, if you don't know, that's the CEO of Warner Brothers. So he was speaking out at Boston University back in May. That is how far back I have news and rumors from, is May. And he was speaking out there, and in the middle of his speech, he was talked down by their entire graduating class, who began chanting, "Pay your writers," just over and over again. He could not finish his speech and did a little walk of shame off stage. And that's the kind of shit that I love to see. I love to see that. Now, that being said, do I think he improved at all from having that happen to him? No. But I hope it hurt. I hope it hurt.
Make their pockets fucking hurt, bro.
Mm-hmm. Like, don't get me wrong. I
do
not normally wish ill on just about anybody. But that level of corporate greed, I do. I do. Anyway. I have loads and loads and loads and loads of news and rumors here. And I can't talk about much of any of them. So, yeah. Or at least I'm not going to go through all of them. Let's talk about the weirdest big one. So we had a congressional hearing where it was confirmed that aliens exist. So that was cool. I'm not gonna lie.
I've been knowing that for years.
I was gonna say I fully
thinking. I've been knowing that for years, dog.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of always knew. That being said, I fully believed that when aliens drive past Earth, they roll up their windows. Like, I'm going to be real honest. If you take one look around here and think that anyone else in the galaxy wants that there, you are dead fucking wrong. So that's that.
For real.
Long story short, Earth is not the nice part of town of the universe.
No, we are not.
What else?
Did we talk about our future plans for the show before jumping into news and rumors?
Honestly, I have so many news and rumors that, like, okay. Future plans for the show. So, as you all have likely noticed,
let's rock it through them.
So this is a different time for us. It's a different day, different time. Long story short, I am now on a new work schedule, and in order to make sure that we are still able to do the show, Saturdays at 7 p.m. is going to be our new time going forward. We are hoping this will work out better for everybody, as we will now be on weekends. Hopefully this works a little better for everybody's schedule, as it is. It's a weekend. We like weekends. Weekends are nice. And as such, this was one of the few times that we could find to continue doing the show. Now, as far as doing the show, given everything that is going on, we won't be doing a show every week. We're currently looking at how often we are wanting to end up doing shows, but with everything going the way that it is, it's looking like at the most we'd be doing every other week. Now, that doesn't mean that we're going to completely disappear for 2 weeks and then come back. You'll likely see something small from us. You know, one of us might share something cool that we're working on, something we're doing in our own personal lives. I myself, Gabby and I went to Gen Con this past week. That was an amazing experience. It was my first time fully dressing up in cosplay, I think, since the pandemic. Like, I had not been to a con since the pandemic. And it was an amazing experience. If you didn't know, Gen Con is based within my own state of Indiana. It's weird because when you think of cons, like big cons that are based somewhere, you don't think of ding, 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 ding. Here, when you think of Indiana, if you think of anything, it's probably the John Green video where he talked about how we have the highest number of dead U.S. vice presidents who never made it to U.S. president buried here in our little cemetery here in Indianapolis. Long story short, Indiana is the highest producer of second-class men in America. And I find that really funny.
The most useless job in the country. Okay, I do have a thing I'd like to add. So recently, if you follow me on TikTok, I'm a little bit more active over there. I got into some drama / beef with a company called Saberverse, who originally looked to be a scam company and then actually just turned out to be a guy who had his own company and was doing like a drop shipping business. Of course it buffers when I'm in the middle of my story. But overall, I made like a 10-minute video on it. You can go look on TikTok if you want links in the down there area. But overall, actually a really nice guy. So I may be getting a saber from them soon. So keep your eyes peeled. This is the first sponsorship I've ever received. So I don't want to talk too much about it. But I'm kind of excited to get sponsored a little bit. So I've also been giving him some advice to like help better his website to make it look less, for lack of a better phrase, suspicious. Because his website definitely had some red flags when I first went on there and kind of did some research. But I talked to the guy, and he's a genuine dude, like actually a person who is not doing a scam company as of right now. Like there's not enough evidence to say like he's a scam company. Like basically, what it came down from was it was me, the Drip Jedi, and then Cole, the Grey Ghost Jedi. Basically saw his video buffering. So done the like other content creators content in a video, and he was informed by and buffer. So he basically paid a guy on Fiverr to like make some promotional videos for the content when he did it. So there's been a little personal thingy going on, but we good now. So shout out to Saberverse. Cool dude.
Let's just Saberverses.
Saberverse is the account. The website is saberverses.com.
Okay. Yeah, I got.
Yeah, Saberverse.
Interesting. Does not just
do. They're a little bit different than like your. They're a little bit different than your typical like your Alley Sabers or your Saber Theories, where they drop ship, but they're transparent about that fact. Like they basically you order through them and then they order from the manufacturer that ships it to you, whereas they don't have the stock on hand. But the guy said in the future he would like to have a warehouse and get stock on hand and then eventually start sending that out. But he's brand new. He started his company back in like June, something like that.
Oh wow!
I think it's into Ito. Shout out to Ito, nice guy.
Nice.
We had a good conversation about it, and because I originally was like, "Yes, this fucking scam, dog." But the more I looked into it, and the more I talked to the guy, he actually seemed legit. Like scam companies don't message you when you call them a scam; they just block you and they move on and continue to steal content. But he actually deleted the content that any videos on his platform that were stolen, and he was kind of like, "Yeah, I got scammed by a guy on Fiverr who told me that he paid the creators for their videos, so I'm sorry about that." And overall, he made it right. So what are you gonna do? So if you're looking to buy a lightsaber, potentially check out Saberverse. Yeah, I'm very curious too. So you might be seeing me doing a sponsored post soon, which I have never done. So keep an eye out for that. Also, High Republic Hype Train, let's fucking go. I will have to re-listen to Light of the Jedi so we can do a proper Light of the Jedi episode. So,
Dude,
because
Buckethead
books
Book Club is gonna
are
go
compliant
off.
with the tribe.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's. Did we talk about that? Talk about Buckethead Book Club.
So Buckethead Book Club. This is something that we're wanting to start.
I don't think we really.
We did not
that.
really touch on this. Buckethead Book Club is something that we're wanting to get started. Of basically, we will pick a book, and the idea was that like for the month, we're going to be reading the book.
I can't read.
Or listening to audiobooks. Audiobooks are a great way to do it as well for those of us who are illiterate, like Dylan. I myself, I can read books. I read books good. See you around, Cal. Thanks for sticking around while you can. I do, in fact, read books good. Dylan does not read books good. But basically what we would do...
Easily. I like audiobooks.
That's okay. That's okay. But we'd have about a month to make it through a book, which gives us all ample time. And we're thinking for our first one, we want to do Light of the Jedi from the High Republic. And so Buckethead Book Club is going to be getting its own channel in our Discord where we can talk about the book. We will have that channel spoilered for anybody who hasn't read the book yet. Or if you're just not wanting to have the High Republic spoiled for you, and you're wanting to read it eventually, if you're not wanting to read it eventually, if you just don't want to listen to us nerd on about a book. That being said, the High Republic is a really cool era. We did a video about it. We really like that era. Now that I've started to actually read it, it's so cool. Look, y'all know me. I'm not that active of a space wizard enjoyer. However, I like these space wizards. They're pretty good. And I don't know, I think it's at one point somebody compared it to, called it Star Wars' Game of Thrones, in that there are 50 billion characters and you have no idea who's going to live and who's going to die. And I think that's a very, because I mean, just people will just get killed.
I will say one of the things that struck me the hardest was certain characters that I thought when I read what was it, the Fallen Star, like hearing certain characters and being like, oh, this character has backstory, this character is like established, they're gonna live, and then they die. If you know who I'm talking about, you know. If you know, you know. And it hurt.
I don't know.
It was painful. And as a fuck you, they also did a fake out death of a character that I absolutely loved. And I was mad. I was very upset that they killed this character and then they revealed him to be alive. And I was like, you fuckers, you motherfuckers, I'm suffering from a loss, a double whammy, and you were like, oh, one of them lived. The High Republic is suffering and pain, and I will say, if you like suffering and pain in your book series, you will enjoy the High Republic. And you get to see really cool force feats and force powers that the prequels don't really get into.
The prequels could never hope to be as cool as the High Republic. I'm just going to be completely honest.
I'm a little concerned because I saw the cover for Eye of the Storm, and he is sitting in a very... Fuck, I hit my pillow. Go ahead. I'm listening.
It's
I'm buffering in and out.
man, I don't know. The Nile, I had my doubts initially, and the Nile have proved to surpass all of my doubts. They are genuinely terrifying.
What I tell you?
So that's cool.
I told you.
That's cool.
High Republic stands. Stay winning. Also, I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick. Go ahead, run through more of the news and rumors. I'll be right back.
That's all good. I'm just gonna run through bits and pieces of news and rumors. Long story short, we have so Cartoon Network has officially closed. As of August 1st, their doors have closed and all of their operations have transferred to Warner Brothers Animation, which is kind of the suck, but oh well. The people behind the Titanic submarine that imploded, Ocean Gate, are now planning a colony above the planet of Venus. So that's cool. I'm wondering what new way this one will end up destroying itself. Let's see. Some good news. Just in the queer world in general. Conversion therapy for LGBTQ minors has now been banned in the state of Michigan. So that's good news. I'm happy about that.
Big Gretch for the win.
I'm
trying to get sure. Shout out to Big Gretch. Gretchen Whitmer for the dope.
Let me take a look here. So for those of us who
see that in the world of politics, did you see that Ron DeSantis and Gavin Newsom are going to have a debate?
I don't know who Gavin Newsom is. Who is that? Yeah, I know Ron DeSantis.
Gavin Newsom is the governor of California. He is he's pretty left wing. Ron DeSantis. Ron the dickhead. Ron the bitch boy who's gonna get absolutely primaried by the Cheeto Man. That's my call. He's gonna lose out. Short of Trump going to jail. Not to talk politics too much, but short of Trump getting cuffed and thrown in jail, DeSantis is not going to be the nominee. That is his only saving grace at this point. But that being said, he has no charisma. He's going to get absolutely fucking bodied by Joe. So.
Yeah. He's going to hit him with the Biden blast.
Bet your ass I'll be out there campaigning for Brandon. Bet your ass I'll be out there.
I have my final bit of news because I don't want to get into this like months and months and months long of news and rumors because we'll double the time of stream. Last bit of news. If you haven't heard, lots of actors, pretty much every actor in their right mind is currently out picketing. I think Pete Davidson brought like 20 pizzas to the picket line. For those of you who don't know, there is a SAG-AFTRA strike support fund to support the actors who are actively out on the picket lines, the writers who are out on the picket lines. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has donated the largest single donation to that fund. It is in 7 figures. So he's out here putting in the work. And let me just say,
the hierarchy of donations is about to change.
It did, in fact, change when he put that in. So Thank you to him because that's good.
Changing the hierarchy of donations, dog.
Mm-hmm. But I think that is all that we have got. So our next episode will, of course, be Under the Helmet Jeopardy. If it is not, we'll obviously be announcing that. But stay tuned for that. We're very excited for when we can bring that to you guys. Be prepared to watch Dylan and I absolutely get our asses handed to us by Callahan as he proves how little we know about our own damn show. But Dylan, do you want to sign us off?
I'm gonna go into. I'm calling it in advance. I'm going to go into Under the Helmet Jeopardy, like I went into high school. I didn't study shit. I'm going in based off pure vibes, and I'm gonna win.
Unfortunately, I'd have no idea what to study.
And I'm gonna win.
Callahan's got like over 100 videos to go through at this point, so I don't know what to do.
A list of like the things. Yeah, like Callahan sent like the topics, and I read it over, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I forgot, and I've sent him so many memes that I have lost the message now, and there's no hope of finding it. I'm not scrolling that far.
I can tell you it's Marvel, Star Wars, and our own show. That's it.
I'm trusting in the Force, dog. At this point, I'm trusting in the Force. I have enough residual knowledge to get me through. I don't remember what I had for fucking breakfast.
That's all right.
Spoiler alert, I didn't have breakfast.
And on that note, you want to sign us off?
If my Wi-Fi permits. Thank you so much to everybody for joining another episode of the most disorganized podcast on the internet. Thank you for joining Under the Helmet podcast. My Wi-Fi seems to be working now. So if you want the Wi-Fi to work better next episode, make sure to leave a like on this video, leave a comment. Enemies, lovers, make them sit through the pain that I have to sit through. Also, don't forget, subscribe to Under the Helmet podcast so you don't miss the Under the Helmet Jeopardy episode or any other episode that we go through. Maybe if we get to a certain subscriber number, my Wi-Fi will just automatically work. That's the goal. We're running based off vibes at this point. With that being said, have a good night. May the Force be with you. And I'm going to go beat the fuck out of that clanker in the other room.
Oh, boy.
Come here, boy!